Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of DayTradeSPY.com's Intro to Trading Week Ahead. My name is Hugh, and Aaron has got the night off, but we still put his name in here anyway as the co-conspirator, co-presenter. And it is Sunday, October the 20th, 2024. Good to have you all here. And let me see, everybody's still joining us. A lot of people still coming online, folks. Come on in, gang. A lots room right here in the front as we're waiting for people to join in. Um, yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of new names here tonight. Welcome, everybody. A lot of new names. All right, a lot of names here. All right, let's get started. And let me just pull this back up here. Click on this, click on this one. Okay, yes, we're on YouTube. And there's a questions box. You'll find a little questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. Before we get started, I'm going to just let you read this disclaimer for a few seconds. Make sure that we stay out of the big house. You know what I'm saying? All right. All right. You alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Thank you all for joining in here this evening. Okay, there I am. And nice to see you all. Nice to see you all, folks. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I can see you. Yes, I can. All right, the questions box, you'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. I'm the only one who sees that. And I see a lot of questions already popping in here. Met you at the Money Show. Yeah, we just got back from the Money Show, got back in here late last night. And Aaron did a couple presentations. I got up there, spoke with him as well. We had a great time. We had a really good time. Admittedly, I think the attendance was a little low to what we expected, and probably due to the hurricanes. Hurricanes, yeah. But I'm glad that was able to meet. We were able to meet some of you there at the Money Show, and we had a good time there. So. Okay, all right, let's get started here. You know, every time I click the button to move a slide forward, my picture freezes in that live thing, and it always seems to freeze on the absolute worst possible shot that you can actually imagine. I'm not very photogenic, which is usually why you don't see me, especially in the trading room in the morning. I don't have my video on. You don't want to see me in the morning. Okay. Anyway, questions box for your questions and comments. Certainly trying to get to those as many as possible here tonight. And we are going to talk about a lot of different things here tonight. As a matter of fact, I want to just introduce myself here to you. My name is Hugh Grossman, and I've learned most of what I know in the trenches trading. All right, mostly in the trenches. And the real deal, folks, what you see is what you get here. I've been trading actually internationally since 2010, looking for short-term breakout trades for small multiple daily gains. Quite successful at this business, and I've done very well for myself. Mostly had to because when my financial advisor blew out half my account there, and of course my kids' education fund, I realized I had to take control of my own investing, and that's exactly what I done. Okay, so I set out to learn everything I could. Learned a lot of different things from various courses, but mostly what I teach and what I learn the hard way. And I think that's the best teacher. If you learn the hard way, if you learn just from what they tell you with with some of that theoretical stuff, it doesn't really work that well. And you can tell that they don't. Actually, I remember they take a lot of courses and stuff. I would always ask that question. So, Mr. Presenter, you actually trade this yourself? And of course, they always said, "Oh no, I don't trade. It's too risky." And that's all I need to know. Close my books and I'm out of there. One time they even asked me to leave. Say, hey, no problem. you know. But anyway, folks, that's what I do and been working very well. It's been very successful for me. And then what happened was, so anyway, I started making some pretty serious money in the market. And I turned my retirement savings account around, started buying new cars, new house, new airplane. And things started to change. And people would say, "Oh, what are you doing? You won the lottery?" No, no, I'm just trading SPY. Well, show me, show me. So that started in 2010. 2010, I started teaching people internationally, and it was quite a fluke actually. We weren't supposed to do this for long. In fact, it was like you say, a fluke. I just put up a rudimentary website, and 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 I thought, this will last for a month or two and it'll fizzle out. It didn't quite happen that way. In fact, it mushroomed up like crazy. And before I knew it, I had a lot of clients, and they started really pressing me to show them and teach them. And it started with a trading room. We've got courses, ebooks, all kinds of stuff, webinars, all kinds of stuff. So that went along for well, about 13 years, I guess. And then Eagle Financial Products bought us out, and Salem Communications, and then they brought on Aaron Stevens. He mastered deep dive technical analysis back in his teens. I believe he had his first brokerage account when he was, what, 17 or something. He worked as a technical analyst for a $150 million commodity fund, and we scooped him. We scooped him, and he is now with us determining these longer term high probability trades. So Aaron and I together, right, the dynamic duo, or some people call us the morning breakfast flakes in our trading room. But what we do is this: we have a saying that says, "When our indicators unite, our trades ignite." And by that I mean Aaron looks at completely different indicators than I do. And if I say the market's going to go up and Aaron concurs and says the market's going to go up, you better be buying call options because the market's probably going to go up. You're probably going to make some serious money.
Is
Now,
that how it works? Is that
there he is, the man of the hour. Hello, Aaron. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you. Sorry, I was a couple minutes late here. I was trying to get my daughter some food and in and out of the shower quick, but she likes to play with her toys in the bathtub. So
Really? So, yeah. Well, good to have you here, Aaron. And
thank you.
and see, now I'm a little different. I would have probably made my daughter starve to death. So,
Oh wow.
you'll eat after the show.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
okay. That's just me. No, I'm just kidding about that. That's good. No, that's important. That's important. So yeah, we had a good time in Orlando, and
Yes. Yes, we did. Big thanks to anybody here that showed up. It's kind of I don't know if you mentioned it here, but it was kind of a funny thing because a lot of people registered, but they didn't come because I don't know if they thought that maybe the hurricane went through Orlando or something. But there was a lot of people. It was very eerie because some of the people there were recovering. One presenter actually I met. He actually is from Tampa, because a lot of people travel back and forth from Tampa to Orlando. Um, and he said that he lost his whole house, everything he owned, he lost, and he didn't have flood insurance. I was like, well, why didn't you get flood insurance? He's like, well, it's way too expensive. I was like, well, that sorry to hear that, but what can you do with that? So I just said, I wish you the best and hope everything works out. But But isn't that strange? The cost of the flood insurance down there is going through the roof. So if you don't pay for that, I guess you can't get a new roof, I guess.
so you lose everything. And what, you start over again? I think I'm going to build a new house, buy a new house now or something. I got no money.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's just insane. So he said, well, he's going to wait a year or two for it to dry out, and so he can bring the house down to its frame and then rebuild on it. And I was like, that doesn't sound good. You might get mold or whatever they get down there in Florida.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well,
But
just want
thanks for any of those that showed up, and I need to talk with you and the other people at Eagle, but we may do some type of Zoom presentation because we've had a lot of requests for that. So,
yeah, well, if you missed us, don't worry about it. We're going to be in Las Vegas in what, February, March, or something like that.
yep,
And
yep,
I
yep.
can't talk about it yet. It's not confirmed, but I think we're going to be in Palm Springs in June. I don't even know if you know about that, Aaron, but
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
you didn't even know about that. Yeah, that's
And
yeah. So I'll tell you about that later. So anyway, just want to welcome everybody, especially anybody who is new on, including Deb L. in the big city of Crystal Beach, Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Deb, and everybody else. All right, so that's it. I want you to write this number down, folks. Seriously, I want you to take a minute and just write this number down. Go grab a pen while you're doing that. Let's see what we can talk about here. And we're going to talk about, yeah, I'm surprised you don't know about Palm Springs, but that's coming up. I believe it's in June. And we may be in the company of people like George Gilder and Mark Skousen, and had the pleasure of having dinner with them the other night. Actually, I was right between the two of them, and it was really pretty interesting. If you don't know who they are, don't worry about it. You will soon enough. These guys are like they are like wow, and they've been around a long time. So anyway, all right. So Yes, write this number down, Grant, and his name is Grant, and the number is 202-677-4492. Just write it down. I'll tell you about it later on, okay? All right, folks, here's what we're going to discuss tonight. I'm going to give you an options primer, especially for the new people who are new online and don't know anything about what we're doing. We're going to talk about last week, going to go look at next week, we'll see what's going to happen. Going to give you an update on a 2 to 5K trading room challenge, and we're going to go out into the cornfield and we're going to just chat about your challenges. So put it up in the questions box. Hope to answer all your comments and questions and tell you how we can help you. And then I've got a very special limited time offer for you. And then we're going to answer some of your questions as well. All right. So getting into why trade SPY options. What is this? Well, SPY. SPY is the SPY. It's just the spider that it's a stock that tracks the top 500 stocks, the S&P 500. So think of it this way. People ask, well, why not the SPX? SPX is the basket of the top five. So if you put a stock in from all of those stocks, you're going to get the SPX. SPY is the stock that tracks that. So what's the difference? Well, the SPX is much more expensive. If you don't mind paying like 1,500 or 2,000 or 3,000 for a single option, well, I kind of do. I'd rather spend, a few $100 trading a single option or a couple $100, right? So it's much more, you got a lot more opportunities with SPY, I think, than with SPX. Unless, of course, you're trading millions of dollars. Now, that's a little different story. So, but I think most of the people here are probably trading less than $1 million. SPY is highly diversified, covers all the market sectors, highly liquid, fills are quick, tight bid-ask spreads. That's very important. You get into some of these other stocks out there, and you say, "Well, I'm going to buy this or that," and meanwhile, you're paying the ask, and you're selling on the bid. But if you don't look at the fact that there's like 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 cents spread, we got to make that up, right? But you want something really nice and tight. With the way we trade, there's only 1 or 2 cent spread, and that's very workable. SPY is very predictable, as a matter of fact. You can usually tell where it's going. It's also very forgiving, relatively speaking. It's also, like I mentioned, very affordable. It's the best trading instrument out there, especially for newbies. If you're new to options, that's really where you want to be. All right. So here, I wanted to give you a couple announcements first. If you have not yet subscribed, do subscribe. Just simply go to our website, DayTradeSPY.com. When the pop-up comes up right at the beginning there, just put in your email address and you're going to get the SPY in the market. This is a newsletter that goes out every Thursday. I write this thing and it's usually on Wednesday nights. No, I'm just kidding. We actually write that earlier, and it's a free newsletter. It takes you about 3 minutes to read it. It's very light, relevant, kind of entertaining as well. Once again, just go to our website, daytradespy.com. This week's topic is going to be scary Halloween stock market terms. It's going to be kind of entertaining more than anything else. All right, scary Halloween stock market terms you're going to want to learn. All right, so because we had Friday off, because we're in Orlando at the Money Show, we are going to extend our trading room sessions on Monday and Tuesday. And so because we didn't have trading then, we're busy talking to everybody and all that. So for those trading room people, your sessions are going to be extended on Monday and Tuesday. You might want to book that in your calendar so you don't plan on anything until at least noon. All right. I'm not saying we're going to stick around till noon, but probably 11 o'clock or so anyway. All right, so if you never heard of options, don't know what they are, here's a bit of an options primer. Options. So when you get a brokerage, all right, you're going to get a platform with which to trade. And on that platform, you're going to see all kinds of tabs up there. You're going to see things like equities or stocks. You'll see, futures. You'll see Forex. I don't know, other things. And there's going to be one called options. Click on that and you're going to see, oh my gosh, depends on what the brokerage platform shows you, but you can see, hundreds and hundreds of numbers and columns and lines and all kinds of weird things. Don't worry about it. Don't get intimidated by all that. It's not that complicated, especially once you learn how to do it. But all you have to do is this. All you have to do is know that options are actually contracts. Right? You're actually contracting with somebody. An option gives you the right, but not the obligation to trade the underlying asset or stock for a certain price by a certain date. Don't get too bogged down on that. All you have to know is that there's a ready market right there willing to buy and sell your contracts. So a couple names you have to know. If you expect the stock to rise, you buy a call option. If you expect it to drop, you buy a put option. Call up, put down. Very easy to remember. You're going to learn these two words, these two names better than your own kids. All right. And, if that's the case, you're in trouble. All right. Options have a strike price. This is the set price at which the stock can be traded for when the option or if the option is exercised. I got to tell you, we don't want to exercise our options ever. At least I don't. Now, if you're trading a different strategy like naked puts or something, then you might end up getting exercise. And I personally don't want to do that. But we just buy and sell first. That's what we do using our system. We buy first and then we sell calls and puts in that order. Options are at the money, in the money, or out of the money. And at the money is where the strike price and the equity prices are equal or close to it. In the money, that's where the options price is more favorable than the equity price. For example, if you're talking about calls, the strike price of that is actually less than the SPY stock price. Okay. The strike price for the, let me just write this down. Let me correct this. The option price, I'm just correcting this, is less than the SPY stock price. Okay, the stock price. Okay, let me just do this again here so I can show you. I just want to correct that. Okay, so if you're talking about call options, right, you're expecting the market to go up, your in the money price is actually going to be less than the current stock price. Okay, if you're out of the money, there's going to be no profit there. There's no intrinsic value. It's all extrinsic value, mostly time. All right, mostly time. And that exists when comparing the options price to equity. So, what am I doing here? Sorry. That is wrong. What am I doing? Oh, who did this here this morning here? No profit exists when, yeah, that's right. When the equity, so what, in other words, the price is higher than the stock price. When the option is, the price for the option is actually higher than the stock price. Okay, that's out of the money. Options have expiration dates. All right, this is the date at which the contract expires. These are not buy and hold strategies. You want to get it and do something with it, unlike a stock. And if you're an investor, you're going to buy stock, you're going to hold it. And then when it goes down, your broker's going to tell you that, buy more, right? And you can say, go to hell. No, I'm going to liquidate because you're obviously not good for me. So, you don't want to go long term here. To us, long term is the end of the day, right? Long term is the end of the day. If we actually have to go into next day, that's really, really long term, and we don't want to do that if we can help it. Options also have this thing called the Greeks. And there's several Greeks. We only kind of look at three of these things here. We're going to look at the delta. The delta measures the change in the options price resulting in a change in the underlying security. So if you see a delta of, say, 52, that means that when the stock goes up $1, the option price goes up 52 cents. Okay. Then there's this thing called the theta. This actually measures the time decay. So when you see a theta of 40 in there, that means that day, all things being equal, 24 hours from now, that option is going to be worth 40 cents less. That's how much time decay. It's like buying an ice cube. All right. You're going to buy an ice cube and it's going to melt on you. And then there's this thing called the volatility. Vega measures the risk of changes in implied volatility of the underlying assets. So if you think that there's going to be a lot of movement in the upcoming stock, and the option, of course, in relation to the stock, you're going to see a higher volatility. Now, you can make a lot of money on high volatility. You can also lose a lot of money on high volatility. Low volatility, we can't really make a lot of money on low. Well, we still do, but it's just a little bit tougher. Then there's this thing called volume. Well, this is the number of options, contracts, spot or sold on any given trading day. It's kind of important when you want to look at the same things like liquidity and stuff. Pros and cons with SPY. Pros, flexibility, cost efficient, huge leverage. You don't have to spend a lot of money, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. High return potential, many strategies available, and I just think it's very fun, exciting trading. I can be perfectly honest and tell you that as long as I've been doing this, every day I get up very excited about what today's going to bring because it's more fun and more exciting. And the more you know this, the more fun, exciting it is to beat the market in its own game, right? Now, by the way, if you don't understand any of this that we're going on, don't worry about it because we have training courses on all this stuff. All right. And I should also tell you that, folks, if I speak a little bit too fast, it's because I'm very passionate about what we talk about. Okay. If that's the case, just tell me to slow down. All right, in the questions box. I don't really want to kind of go over everybody's head. But if you're kind of missing any of the stuff, don't worry about it now. This is not this is not a training course. You're not going to learn this. You're not going to, go through this webinar and suddenly you're an expert options trader, an hour from now. It's not going to happen. All right. But just kind of giving you an overview. And this kind of some things that we actually talk about. All right, the cons, well, you get your time decay, and there's certainly commissions, and frankly, there is risk. Hey, listen, nothing comes without risk, right? If you don't want any risk, just buy some CDs or something. I don't know what they pay these days, what, 3, 4%, maybe 5 if you're lucky. If you put like $500,000 into into a CD or something, they're gonna pay you what? They're gonna buy you dinner once a year. Yeah, good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. So, folks, here I'm gonna give you this here. Is that our friend Aaron? Is that our friend? What's her name? Daphne. That's
Yeah,
Daphne.
Daphne. That's Daphne.
We named this girl Daphne, folks. She's our spy trading girl. We love her to pieces, right? How can you not love that smile, folks? Here's what we do. We day trade SPY options. That's all we do, period. SPY, right? Highest traded stock out there. It's affordable, liquid, exciting trading, and huge, huge profit potential. In other words, you don't need to spend a lot of money or invest a lot of money to make some very serious money on the stock market. All right, you don't have to come up with tens or 20, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Folks, we figured it out. One stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day. Over the years, all right, we figured out what works and what doesn't work in both trading and training. All right. Now, if you want to know all about the stock market, there are many, many places you can go. In fact, you can go to it's like a university where you never graduate out of. All right. That's why they don't have degrees in this stuff, right? Because it's always changing. The market is always changing. No two trading days are ever the same. In all the years I've been trading this, I've never had 2 days that were actually the same, which is actually good and bad. Now, they say that what, 95, 98% of options traders quit in the first year simply because they blow up their accounts. And that's because they don't know what they're doing. Now, to the other people, that's probably very much a scary thing, right? But to me, when I learned that, that was very attractive to me because I determined that, oh, I just have to be better than 95% of the world out there, just a little bit better. I don't have to be the best. I just have to be a little bit better than most of the people out there, and I'm going to make some money. So if they're going to lose money, they might as well lose it to me. That's kind of the way I look at it. All right. That works for me. All right. So there we are, folks. SPY. Why now? SPY follows the economy. So where the economy goes, that's where SPY goes. Now, a long time ago, I used to be with other groups and we used to have to, oh my gosh, Sharon, we were in trading rooms. I don't know if you were in those days at all, but we'd get together every morning, 9 to 4, and then we get together every Sunday night, I think every Tuesday night, every Thursday night, whatever it was. And suddenly I realized that I was the slave to all of this rather than this being my slave. I realized that's not really what I want to do. I want the stock market to be my slave. And by that way, this way, by trading SPY, I only have to look and see what's going on today in the market. Now, we're not very, well, maybe Aaron is, but I'm not that smart. I'm going to tell you folks, especially for you ladies out there, um, Aaron's the smart one, but I'm the good-looking one, all right? And that was that was proven this weekend in Orlando, right? So just so you know, right? Aaron might be smart. I'm the good-looking one. So
Yeah. Yeah, I had a fan that showed up twice. I was very surprised. But
yeah.
anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Okay, yes. I want to say hi to Bonnie. Bonnie came for that one. I noticed she talked to you. She didn't talk to me. So obviously she saw you. She
Well,
was a
Bonnie is very sweet. I don't know if she's in tonight, but oh yeah, I see Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie is a very sweet lady.
hi, Bonnie. Good
Um,
to have you here.
yeah.
Anyway, all right, so folks, with SPY, I get up around 8 o'clock in the morning, and yes, sometimes it's tough. And by the way, I don't show my face in the morning. You don't want to see that. But anyway, uh, I get up in the morning about 8 o'clock, and within a very short period of time, we can determine where this. See, we're not that smart to know where the market's going to be a year from now, or 6 months from now, or even a week from now. I've got no idea, but we got a pretty good idea where it's going to go today. And isn't that really what's important? Where's it going to go now? We want to get in and out in a few minutes. Ideally, that's our position, right? So we have a very efficient use of analysis time. Our moves are quick. Excuse me. My voice is going up. So you can earn your daily gains faster. Like I mentioned, SPY is fairly reliable, consistent, predictive, forgiving, and you can anticipate markets up or down pretty much in any market. So when the market goes, and I love this, Aaron, and I know sometimes you argue with me on this, and a lot of people argue with me. I get emails all the time. We say, well, the market's going to go up today. And somebody always says, well, the market's going down. It's down now. It's down from yesterday. Yeah, I know it's down. I got it. I know. I see it. But it's not where it's been that's important. It's more important where it's going. All right, where it's going. Now, for you hockey fans out there, you probably know that Wayne Gretzky, the great one, right? He's like the all-time best hockey player like ever and by far, ever. Nobody's gonna ever touch this guy. And I remember a reporter, somebody asked him once, how are you so good? Anyway, what is it? And he came with a brilliant answer. He just said, I skate to where the puck is going, not where it is. Interesting. I skate to where the puck is. I skate to where the puck is going, not where it is. Think about that. What is important for us? Where the stock is now, where it has been? Who cares where it's been? I know it was up there, but it came down. So what? I am looking for a particular setup every morning. All right, particular setup because I have a pretty good idea what's going to happen. And I think it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. And now if Aaron concurs, then you better be buying call options because you're going to make some money on the upside. All right, this is another thing I get asked a lot. Hugh, why don't you diversify? You're only doing one stock. I said, well, I can't think of a more diverse stock than SPY. Take a look at this. All the sectors are here, all the top stocks. Now, like probably many of you, you start out with this crazy thing called penny stocks. Folks, just believe me, stay away from penny stocks, all right? There's a reason they are cheap. And without getting into too much, well, okay, I'll tell you. There's this thing called pump and dump, right? Now, now I'm not going to do this because number one, it's just not right. And number two, I don't want to end up in the big house, if you know what I'm saying. Um, Not that I probably would because the SEC and the FTC, these guys are too busy with bigger fish to fry. But here's what happens with the pump and dump. And if you don't believe me, Google it. So I can pick a stock, a cheap stock, right? And I can start accumulating it at, 10, 20, 30 cents, right? I buy hundreds and thousands and over, a period of time, I buy, thousands of contracts on some cheap, cheap stock. And then I spin a little story around it, right? I say, oh, this stock, it's it's the latest thing. You spray it on your head and suddenly you're going to get some hair. All right. And this is going to be world renowned. This is going to be in the next Apple, next Google. You got to get in us. I start talking it up, maybe on a Sunday night, maybe on a Wednesday night, whenever, right? I put it in newsletters, everything else. You got to buy this off the stock. So you start buying the stock, right? What's going to happen? All these many, many people online, they're going to run out there the next day and buy the stock. Well, what do you think is going to happen? I have a low volume stock that I just accumulated over some days here. And now everybody goes up. I'm going to give you a hint. This price is going to go up, right? It's going to go up. And that stock that might have been 10, 20, 30 cents is suddenly becoming 50, 60, 80 cents, a dollar, $1.50, $2. Who do you think is going to be dumping it? Me. I'm going to sell that stock that I just paid 20 cents for. I'm going to sell it for $2. Is that not like a 10 banger? And a lot of it, right? So I'm going to get rich. And I'm going to get rich on your backs because you're gonna sell it, you're gonna buy it from me, and then you're gonna say, and to add fuel to the fire, you're gonna say, Hugh was right. It did go up. How did he know it was going to go up? Well, I'm the one that pushed it up. And you were the suckers that bought into it. You lost all your money, and after I sell and it goes up there, then the market's going to come back down again. And in another few days, a couple days, that stock is going to be right down to 20, 30 cents again. And you're going to scratch your head and say, how did he know it's going to go up? Where's the next one? Let's get it on the next one, right? And then we're going to do it all over again. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. And no, so I'm not going to, don't worry about it. But I'm going to tell you this, stay with quality stocks, and SPY is the best out there, the absolute best, all right? Look at what you got. This is by capitalization. Apple is number one, 7.13%. NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, which is Facebook, Alphabet, which is Google. All of these top stocks out here, okay? These are all top stocks. And it goes right down the list. So now, theoretically, if Apple goes down the tube, suddenly becomes worthless tomorrow, which I doubt is going to happen, it's only going to affect the S&P 500 by 7.13%, theoretically. Now, in reality, it's going to bring down other stocks with it, like, a lot of the NASDAQ stocks, which is tech heavy. I was actually asked this question the other day, well, why don't you use the Qs as well? Because the Qs is the NASDAQ, QQQ. And I said, well, it's very tech heavy. And what happens there is because they're very overvalued, right? 30, 40, 50, 80 times the value of what it should be. So whenever there's some problem in the world and they want to get money into safer havens, they're going to take money out of the tech sector first. So that's where you're going to see that the Qs go down first. You don't get that issue so much with SPY, okay, because SPY is more diversified. There is not a more diverse stock out there than SPY. All of the sectors are covered in SPY. Here you go, information technology, financials, healthcare, consumer discretionary. They're all right down there. They're all represented in SPY. All right. SPY, why not? Learn something new. Stay mentally sharp. Folks, especially if you're a little bit older, you know what I'm saying, then it's really good because it keeps your cognitive skills sharp. And I talked to some traders who are like in their 90s, and these guys are sharp as a whistle. They can dance around me like crazy. Um, and it's because they keep on it, right? They're sharp. I know a lot of people who retire early, you know, they retire in their 50s or 60s, and their brain turns to mush because all they do is they sit and watch TV all day or something. They don't want to do anything, you know. Stay sharp by staying in with the market, and you're gonna see, you know, you're gonna stay sharp. You're gonna live longer, healthier, and wiser. You might as well learn while you earn, right? And you're going to make money. So the time's going to pass anyway. You might as well make some money, right? Huge profit potential for serious traders. You can actually dream that lifestyle that's truly achievable. I find it's very exciting, thrilling to actually beat the market. And what I like about it, you can actually pass this knowledge on to your kids. Now, here's the thing. My daughter, after graduating from college, she decided to go teach English as a second language in Thailand. Now you have to understand that my daughter was never like a world traveler. We would kid her and say, well, you're going to go see some friends, from Buffalo. If you're going to see friends in Rochester, we'd kid her and say, oh, who's your travel agent? You know, but when she went to Thailand and announced it, I actually didn't believe it until I was driving her to the airport. There she is, tickets in hand, looked at, I'm going, and you actually are. And you know what? She loved it. She was there for a year. Now, folks, see this hair? It used to be brown and lots of it. So when she went to Thailand, that's when it turned gray or white. And then when she came back, she announced she's going to go to Peru and do it all over again in Peru at some university down there. I said, "Are you kidding?" All I can think about is, Escobar and El Chapo and all these guys. And oh my gosh, are you serious? Well, she was there for a year. She loved it. Of course, I lost most of my hair then. So this is what they do to you. Aaron, you got a 5-year-old. Get ready about it, buddy. It's happening. It's going to happen to you too. All right, it's going to happen to you. So get ready. Um,
Well,
take
it's already happening. I noticed there's some salt and pepper coming in, in little patches.
Yeah. Well, she's only what, 5? Well, you'll be worse than me. You
Well,
will be.
it started with a Chipotle burrito. I think that was the first white hair. The
Oh,
Chipotle, the
cut,
Chipotle.
cut yourself on the foil. Could only happen to you, Aaron. It can only happen to you.
Yes.
Anyway, point is, I taught my kids how to trade options. Excuse me. And when she was in Thailand, I was asking her, Lex, you need some money. How are you for money? She said, no, I'm fine. If I ever need money, I just go to SPY at the market, and the American dollar goes far down here. She would take the profits that she would make in the market. She'd go visiting neighboring countries, Vietnam and what's the other one? Myanmar. Myanmar. Google the worst country in the world, and there it is, number one, maybe number two now, Myanmar. So what are you going there for? It's beautiful. I said, oh my gosh. Okay, just be careful. But anyway, she would take the money she made on the market and she'd go visiting these other countries. When she was in Peru, she went to Colombia. She loved it so much. When she came back, she went down to Colombia for a vacation. So anyway, she's got friends all over the world. So because of this amazing experience that she has. So that's kind of and she just went to Europe. She went to see Taylor Swift back in the spring, I think in New Jersey, and then she went to Poland to see Taylor Swift there back in the summer. Saw some friends, and she bounces around all over the world visiting friends, courtesy of the stock market. Right. Same with my son. He knows how to trade, and they do very well. Folks, here's the potential of options. Let's do a comparison. All right. So let's say you want to buy 100 shares of SPY. It's going to cost you roughly $584 a share. You're going to invest $58,400. Now, if you want to control the same 100 shares, you simply buy one option because each option controls 100 underlying shares. Well, it's going to cost you roughly, say, $300 for an at-the-money option. And so now let's say if the stock rises $1, right? Now you have $58,500 for the stock. Or if you have the option and you have a 50 delta, which is what it would be roughly, your option value goes up to $350, right? $350. Now, let's take a look at your return on investment on this one here. Your return on investment with the stock is 0.17% versus 17% for the option. And you've also limited your risk. All right. Instead of risking 58,000, you've got, a lot less money invested in there. Now, most people buy more than one contract, obviously. That's not gonna buy you a lot, all right? But it's gonna buy you something, right? So if you buy, say, 10 contracts, you'll have made, say, $500, less a little bit in commission. It's not bad. And oftentimes it happens, like you say, in a few minutes, all right? And you're getting 17% return on investment. Well, which would you rather have? I think it's pretty obvious. I got to tell you, once I discovered the power of options, I never bought stock again. Why would I? I don't care about holding stock certificates. I have purchased stock certificates in the past when the stock went down to zero. And if you want some, let me know. I'll probably ship over some stock that I was sold. I remember this one. It was a gold company called New Era Developments or some stupid thing. A good friend of mine at the time sold me on this. I spent a lot of money on it. We're no longer friends. Last I heard, he was dumpster diving for food, and then he died this last January. So never got my money back out of that. But anyway, that's another story. You learn some, you lose some. But folks, we have one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day. And by going with DayTradeSPY, you learn from our mistakes, as you're not going to live long enough to make them all yourself. All right. So let's move on to the week in review. This is what happened here. This is what the week looked like. Let's just expand this here and take a look and see what happened on Monday. It was a low, no news day. We broke major resistance at 580 as predicted by Aaron and his famous charting. Lasted through to test 585, record new high, and mostly on banks' earnings reports. Now, what happened on Tuesday, we had the Empire State Manufacturing Index came in at a disappointing minus 11.9, far below the forecast of a plus 3.4. Traders lost confidence, but they really lost confidence in this one company from Holland, ASML. Their shares plunged 16% because the comments from the C class was that something like, well, okay, by the way, so this company makes the equipment that makes computer chips. Okay. So they're not the chip maker, they're the company that makes the equipment for chip makers. And they said their orders are down, and it looks like chip makers are not ordering as much equipment or something. They sort of forecasted a little tougher times for the chip makers. Well, this actually spooked the market. On top of that, we had some technical issues that took us down in profit taking, and the market just kind of tanked right down, testing 579. That was Tuesday. On Wednesday was a no news day. Technicals attracted buyers, ran up to 580, recovered much of the loss to close over 582. By the way, those people that are sitting in calls on Tuesday, I told them just hold on. It'll pop back up. It'll bounce back up. It'll bounce back up. And we even talked about repairing our trades. And I know a lot of people ended up making a lot of money on the repairs. And if you held into Thursday, you made even more money because on Thursday we hit record highs at 586.3. All right. Record highs positive retail sales report came in better than expected. Also, the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index earnings and the earnings included Netflix, which was actually better than expected. I don't have the numbers handy on what they came in, but that was actually kind of beat the market, ran up. Some technicals brought it back down to test that 582.5. And on Friday, we pushed back to the upside with building permits and housing starts reported higher than expected. And on technicals, took it back up to 585, where there was some major resistance, and we settled right in there, just under 585 for Friday's close. Week in review, markets continue to impress with a bullish performance so far for this year. Now, if this continues, it looks like it probably will. It would be the second consecutive year with over 20% returns, something that only occurred in only 5 times in the last 75 years. Now, while 20% yearly returns are common, it's not so back to back as we're seeing this year and last year. We've got a friendly Fed policy, right? They want to cut interest rates, probably another half point between now and the end of the year. Growing economy and an uptrend in corporate profits support further gains ahead. It looks like we're in for like a soft landing, which is what they're all talking about. Also, the S&P rallied more than 12% since August, returning nearly 23% year to date. Now we're just ramping up to earnings season. All right. Taking a look at the charts, this is what it looks like here. The earnings, that 20% is that broken red line. We're over that now for 2024. The first time in 2 years we're doing that. Here's the numbers here for year to date, 23% in the S&P. We went up 0.9% this week in the S&P. NASDAQ and the Dow, they're both up as well. All right. NASDAQ edged out the S&P by 0.2%. The Dow is trailing a little bit, but still very respectable, just under 15%. All right, here's the seasonal charts. This is what it looks like for those not familiar. The blue line is where SPY is now, and the red line is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the S&P 500 on the daily charts. Okay, on the daily charts. Okay, so let's take a look and see what happened here. Going back to the seasonals, historically, SPY remained, actually it dropped. It did not remain, it dropped. You have to pardon me. I got in late last night and a little tired here. Historically, SPY dropped about 1 point over the last week, and it also rose about 2 points the following week. So there might be some upward pressure still continued into this coming week from a seasonal standpoint. All right. And with earnings, I'm pretty confident that's going to happen once again. So here's the news that's coming out here this week. IMF, International Monetary Fund, this is going to be day one. No high impact economic news is scheduled for Monday. On Tuesday, we got the Richmond Manufacturing Index. We also have some earnings coming in from, what is this? Verizon, Texas Instruments, LMT. Aaron, what's LMT? LMT is Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, they are reporting on Tuesday, among many others. Wednesday, existing home sales. Day three of IMF. Tesla, T-Mobile, Coca-Cola, IBM, and I should know that. T is, oh my gosh, my AT&T, right? My mind is like a sieve here tonight. Thursday, unemployment claims, PMI reports, new home sales, IMF, Amazon. Who else reporting earnings? Some of the big names here. S&P Global, Honeywell, UPS. Friday, durable goods orders, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations, IMF day 5, and earnings season continuing on for Q3. Volatility could be low on Monday, moderate on Tuesday, moderate on Wednesday as well, and then it's going to be high on Thursday, back to moderate on Friday. All right. Expect markets to be choppy into at least the elections and possibly even after that, because they probably won't have a clear winner, and who knows when, days, maybe even weeks after, right? After all the counting is done, I don't know.
Well,
And also,
I heard today that the 60% favor towards Donald from one source. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's a website. Is it Road to 270? Somebody gave me something like that. Our first to 270. That's a good prediction website, or at least the polling or whatnot. So I think we even talk about the Donald J. Trump
yes, we did.
stock.
Last week, I purposely left it off the PowerPoint this week because I don't want to be accused of pumping them. But yeah, we talked about it last week. Did get into it. Was it last week or the week before? I bought the 115 calls for November the 15th expiration. I got a whole whack of those for 56, and I doubled my money. Or actually, in the first 3 days, I doubled my money. I don't know where it's going to go tomorrow, but it's been bouncing around pretty good. I think it's going to be okay. Okay, I think if he wins, that could be a 10 bagger, and if he loses, I could lose it all. All right, so kind of a gamble on that one, but kind of good news in that the polls are saying he's a 60% chance he's going to win, but polls can change, right? So now, did you get into that too, Aaron, or you just? I know you were the one that talked about it. So
I put a placeholder trade. I didn't personally buy any, but I put a placeholder trade in. I'm already up over 100%. I bought the $35 and by placeholder I mean in the simulator in the Thinkorswim program. So put a placeholder trade in $35 calls. I got in around 450. I think it's already past 900, something like that, just to track it. I'm not political one way or the other.
We don't have to be political. It's just it's a business decision is what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Business decision. So, but so we'll see what happens,
If
right?
there was a Kamala Harris ETF or stock, I'd probably buy that also.
You buy that also, yeah. So one of them's going to win. One of them's going to be a 10 bagger. The other's going to lose it all. So that would be a good. That would be
Unless
good.
it's Elon Musk, or
Yeah.
unless one of the Israeli warheads misses its target and hits a nuclear silo, in Iran, and then that would probably make it so we might not even have a president.
We'll see what happens. Folks, the key here is this: trade small, trade often. Trade small, trade often. And I think that's kind of important. Is that right there? How can I wonder if I could do if I do this. There you go. Trade small, trade often. And let me see if I can actually make it look like this. Can I do this here? Hang on a second. I'm playing with this. There you go. Trade small, trade often. It's actually a numbers game. So if you make a lot of small gains and if you happen to lose one, it's not the end of the world for you, right? So I actually did a newsletter on that a while ago, so you might want to go back and see where it is. All right, so anyway, that's it. Folks, there's Daphne again. There's our girl, Daphne with the magnifying glass. She says, folks, we show you how to spot them, how to trade them, many opportunities daily. All right, Aaron, here's where we're gonna go. I'm gonna give you an update on the 2 to 5K challenge. So here's the way this works. We started on September the 16th, and starting with $2,000. The goal is to turn it into $5,000 by November the 5th. So here's what happened this last week. I'm going to tell you right now. This is, by the way, done live in our morning trading room. You don't have to buy anything else. You have to subscribe to anything else. Just have to make sure you're in the trading room. This is where it all happens, folks, right there. Right. So here's what happened. All right. Now I'm going to tell you flat out. Yes, I had a bad trade here the other day, and I'm going to tell you what happened. This was on Wednesday, the 16th of October. So I was in a trade. Everything was looking real good. Ended up buying the 585 calls. Things were looking pretty good. In fact, I was up a little bit, but I neglected to take the profit. I thought it was going to go up a little bit higher, and then I ended up taking a loss. Actually, that was the 584 calls. So I took a loss of $1,900. So here's what happened on Wednesday. On Wednesday, um, in the afternoon, I had two doctor's appointments, and right here in front of my house, they were actually filming a serial movie, and they're using my house as a in my front of my beach house as a background, and I had to move things around, so I was preoccupied with that. So I didn't have a chance to actually watch the market. Then when I came back to it, I said, "Holy smokes, what's going on here?" And that's when that chip maker was talking down the market and spooked the market. And I think SPY fell about 6 points that afternoon, which kind of messed things up. Then I got on a plane on when was it? Wednesday. And on Thursday, we're scattered all over and sort of our attention. And I got onto my infamous laptop, which I absolutely abhor, and I was in Florida, and I tried to recover it, and the market turned against me there. I took another loss for 504. Not to worry, we still have 1271 to work with. And here's the plan. I've got a plan. And we're going to get more aggressive and possibly same next day's expirations. Now, Aaron and you and I are talking about this afternoon about, well, we're going to still talk about this more. I think we're going to go with still this Friday's expiration tomorrow, but we're gonna impose we're gonna invoke a stop loss. So hopefully we're gonna ride this up on a trend. Hopefully there's gonna be a trend, and we're gonna get caught up on this and really ramp it up. We did this last time too, and we actually really ramped it up very quickly to the point where a lot of people said it's actually unbelievable, but it worked well. So we're gonna see what happens. All right. So this is one of those trades that just could, we're gonna see what happens anyway. All right, so that's the plan for the 2 to 5K challenge. Please join us in the trading room for that. Now, I got some really exciting news to come up to tell you about today, all right? So you're going to want to be in on this. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the trading room. This is hosted by traders, yours truly, along with Aaron. Together, we have over 40 years combined market experience. You can't buy this kind of mentorship, folks, on your own, right? It's going to be very, very expensive, and it's just not, you know, you got to get in the trading room for this because because it's interactive. You can ask us questions. We teach you stuff. We answer your questions. We get right into it. This is a fully narrated learn and earn program. This is where our strategies come alive. We've got several strategies that we use and they work. And when you have really good working strategies, you want to stay with them, right? These are also recorded for later review in case you missed them, not a problem. Every morning we do this at 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern time. And this is the home of the 2 to 5K challenge. Now, I should tell you, we actually open up the trading room at 9 o'clock. You're going to hear music. And if you don't hear music, check your audio, software, and hardware. That's the reason we do it, not to entertain you so much, but just to make sure your all your technical stuff works. All right. Home of the 2 to 5K challenge. So we're gonna have to get really aggressive this week. All right, this is what they're saying. Now, this is actually from a couple weeks ago. I didn't have a chance to actually take down some of the comments this week, but this one was so good. I just carried it over from last week. James here said that there are a lot of trading pros with all the right answers. None of them comes close to matching your ability to help, teach, and make us all good traders. Thank you for being the best for the benefit of your followers. Atiba made $164 on the pick of the day. Super excited. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. Akhtar picked up 28 cents on the pick. We got tons of this stuff, tons, but I'm not going to bore you with all that. I want to get back to showing you what we do. All right, next up we have the inner circle I want to tell you about. You're going to get the morning market assessment, follow-up report later in the day as to what we actually did. Plus, you're going to be invited to our weekly Wednesday night meetups. These are interactive. Bring anything and everything to do with SPY, and Aaron will answer those. And he's got educational. So tell us just a little bit here briefly about what your Wednesday night sessions are like, Aaron.
Sure, yeah. So Wednesday sessions, it's a great time, and I'm not sure what kind of special we have for the inner circle, but um, it's a great time. It's a very intimate group. It's a lot less than the Sunday nights or the trading room. So I first off start off by addressing everybody, saying a warm welcome to everyone. We talk about the news, talk about what happened in the past week. We go over um, the inner circle pre-market as well as a post-market analysis and how to read those. And we've gotten some really good feedback as well as made some positive changes to the inner circle even in the mornings. A gentleman by the name of Placide, he really enjoyed the support and resistance levels. He asked me to add two more. So now we have four support and resistance levels that you can watch. Oftentimes price will turn like magic on those levels. So even to have an eagle eye view of where their support and resistance levels are is I think is worth its weight in gold and worth the price of having that. But then we also talk about we do have modules that we talk about from time to time on a particular trading subject. Sometimes we'll talk about volume. Sometimes we'll talk about Fibonacci retracements. Sometimes we'll talk about Fibonacci time. Sometimes we'll talk about a particular topic like discipline in trading and how that works and psychology of trading and positive expectancy, having routines in your trading. It's all there. And it's a really great addition for those of you that may not be familiar with that. It's a really great addition to your DayTradeSPY services because it kind of rounds out everything. And you also get a follow-up report of all the trades, as well as what we expected the market to do and what it did, as well as a follow-up news report at the end of the day. So very, very much recommend if you haven't subscribed to the Inner Circle, definitely take a look at it.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you very much for that, Aaron. We also have here the pick of the day. Pick of the day. This is a specific option sent to your inbox every morning before 9:30. You buy it at the market open, put it up for sale for the get till cancel order for 6% gain. Sit back, relax, but let the market work its magic. And you can actually hold that overnight if you really want to. But of course, our bosses want to some sort of a closure to it. So we tell people if you want, just put a 40% stop loss in. But I tell people beforehand that, listen, if you have to hold it overnight, you'll probably make some money on it. And usually it works out. All right. We also have the Signal, Day Trade Spy Signal. Okay, hang on. I messed things up a little bit here. The Signal is actually, okay, I better go back. Signal is actually sent as a text message to your cell phone. All right, and I'm sorry I don't have the slide for that. And it's delivered 3 to 5 times a week in the mornings. So the idea with the Signal, Day Trade Spy Signal, is you buy it right as soon as you get it, put it up for sale for a 5% target price, and then if you haven't sold it by the end of the day, sell it at the market price, and then you're going to you make some money on that. So that has been working extremely well. Now I want to tell you a little bit about yeah, that's where I messed up. Okay, I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to tell you about the society. Now listen carefully. All right, this is what I really want to tell you about, and this is why I told you to write this phone number down. All our services, our inner circle trading room, which has an 87% success rate, the pick of the day, which is now at an 89% success rate, and the Signal is got an 88% success rate. All right, not bad. Now we have our success rate has suffered a little bit in the last month or two. All right, but we're making changes to bring that back up. Up until then, we're around 92, 93% success on all these services. But expect that to go higher again. All right. But let me tell you, 88, 89, 87%, that's pretty respectable because we also tell you how to cut your losses and how to make a lot more than these numbers. Okay. And we teach you all that in the trading room. All right. Now, the Day Trade Spy Society, all right, this is you get a lifetime membership on all these services I just told you about, all right? Trading room, inner circle, pick of the day, Signal, lifetime membership. But we only do this every now and then, maybe twice a year. We offer this special bundled price. You also get a legacy provision that allows you to pass your subscription on to a family, friend, or a relative, and you can only do that once. All right. So if you think you've made enough money or you don't want to do this anymore, pass it on to your kids or whatever, and they can also take advantage of all of these services for one low price of only $7,995 or less. In other words, what you're going to do here is this. You're going to call Grant at that number I gave you. There's his number. Write it down. All right. 202-677-4492. If you are already a subscriber to any of these services, you will get a worked out discount even more for this lifetime membership on the Day Trade Spy Society. All right. You're going to get the whole thing for less. The most you're going to pay if you have none of these subscriptions right now, the most you're going to pay is $79.95 for a lifetime membership on all of this, which is like unbelievable. All right, unbelievable. So you don't want to miss this. So you need to contact Grant directly at this 202-677-4492. I think they're probably going to send out some promotional material on this. So pay attention and watch it. So even if you don't get the number here, you don't get into this, grab it this time, folks, because once this expires, which I think is going to be the end of October. Aaron, I don't think I'm supposed to tell everybody that, but I think at the end of October, that's it. It comes to a close. So I'm probably telling you secrets I'm not supposed to. But anyway, after that, that's it. You cannot call him and you cannot call him November the 2nd or 1st and say, I want the society. They're going to say, no, not available. All right. Now, if you want any of those other subscriptions individually, here's what I want you to do. Don't go to the website, which is daytradespy.com. I mean, you'll get all the information there, but get the better price by emailing customer service, all one word, customer service at daytradespy.com. They will give you a better rate, better deal than you'll get on the website. How cool is that? All right. Limited time only. All right, let's move on. Any questions, folks? Let's hit the questions box. Okay, thank you for that, Benjamin. Met him at the Money Show. Cool. Good evening from St. Louis. Everybody's chiming in. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me see here. Any questions? Aaron and I are the only ones to see the questions, so we'll go ahead and say whatever you want. And let me see, who else do we have on here that is there a Karen on? No, she said she was going to come on. That's okay. Right, we're not going to get into specifics as to what your, let me get that, there we go, into what you did over the weekend. So we're not here to analyze your specific trades, folks, during this session. That's for the trading room, in which case yes. And so we have a lot of people in our trading room, but we do, look, see, there's that other crazy picture. My mouth is open. Why does it do that, Aaron? Why is it that whenever I click away, it always seems to take the worst picture of me and holds it there? Do they know that? Are they trying to make me ugly or something? Whoever the algorithm is on this program, I don't know. Met Charles there. Thank you very much, Charles. Ken, McD, met you at the Money Show. Okay. Yes, Ken McD. Yes, you got that right. Possibly the Freedom Fest in Palm Springs. That's not confirmed yet. Aaron, you might want to take note of that.
Oh yeah, that sounds right. That would be good because I do have some family over there actually. So it would be like a 2-for-1 special if that would work out.
Yep. Not official yet. Not official, but
Palm Springs is a beautiful place, by the way. If you have never gotten there, Joshua Tree National Park is very close, about a 30 minutes drive. Uh,
okay.
very good, very wonderful experience out there.
Okay. Okay. Chuck is asking here, Aaron, this one's for you. Sometimes in the trading room, you, Aaron, talk about where the bullish money is about to come in. Can you tell us how you see that in advance? Can you just brief
Yeah,
anything at all
yeah.
about?
So I look at longer term Fibonacci levels, and those where the people are buying or selling. And then I also look at volume. I'm a huge believer in reading volume. I have about 3 volume indicators on my chart. So I try to see the market in more than 2 dimensions, price, time, and volume, as well as 3 dimensions on a chart. So that would be price up and down, time left to right. So I mix those together and comes up with trend lines and Andrews pitchforks that can predict the price and time in the future. So along with most people don't trade Andrews pitchfork. Most people look at Fibonacci. I would say 95% of traders uh, look at the major Fibonacci retracement levels and extensions on a weekly chart. Um, and so if I can, let me see. Let me see if I can ask Hugh. Actually, would that be okay if I shared for a second?
Well, if you can make it brief, I don't want to get too deep into that because that's a lot of technical stuff, and I know a lot of people don't really want to
Oh,
go.
sure. No worries then. I'll
They got to
just
go in the trading room. That's what we're
yeah.
pushing. We're pushing you. We're pushing you into the trading room because that's really where we get into all the details on this. All right, that's really where we get into the meat of all of this. So, if you want to show, if you want to take like 30 seconds or something and get into it, but you know what? I don't know, Aaron. Let's join the trading room. All right. Now I'm going to tell you something about the trading room. If you want to go in the trading room separately as an independent subscription, please do, because if you really don't like it, within 30 days, you can get your money back. Now, as I told one person in Orlando, that if you go in the trading room and you cancel in 30 days, you will still learn something. And if you don't, you should have no right to be in front of on a trading platform at all right? Because you're going to learn a lot of stuff, even for free. All right. So that's really where we're pushing you. We don't want to get into all that technical stuff too much right here. This is an overview. But Aaron, if you want to spend them, you want to show them or something or no? What do you want to do?
Uh,
We don't have to if you
if
don't want.
if you want briefly, I can just recreate. I can recreate a chart that I showed during the money show presentation. Um,
Okay, just make it very brief. Just make it very okay. I'm gonna pass it on. Are you ready to go?
yeah, yeah,
I don't keep people too long here.
sure,
So
sure, no problem.
I will
Yeah, so
there you go. You got control.
I got. Can you see it now?
Sure can.
Okay, awesome. Well, there's an issue here. I can't get to my screen. Okay, so this is where the big money is. Okay. You see that big money buying right here at the 50% level on the weekly chart? That's where the largest order was out of this entire block. Second largest orders were here at the 38.2. We have a test right here, a test right here, and price price is continuing up to this 61.8, which is $643 even. Okay, that's not a coincidence. $643 even. So if price continues up, price is going to hit that. Now we also had the Andrews pitchfork, which is this here, actually uh, like that. So I had said in the presentation that I would predict that the market's going to continue up. Currently, I predicted around 630, excuse me, around 630 to be the prediction for an extension to the upside. But currently we're on the path to at least 630, anywhere between 630 and 640, in between that the Fibonacci, depending on which high you use. So you have to make sure that they snap, especially on the weekly charts, to get your best prediction. But A, B, C, D pattern is right here in front of your eyes. A, B, C is the 50% buyers. D is going to be the 161% extension target on a weekly time frame. So what does that mean? Well, we're about there, anywhere between symmetrical ABCD is going to be 6, 10, 50, and then that's 61.8 161.8% extension is going to be somewhere up here in that 630 to 640 level. So you see how price bounced 1, 2, 3 times. It bounced on the weekly chart. That's where we saw a lot of buying down here. That's not a coincidence, folks. Those are huge institutions that are buying on this Sanders pitchfork on a weekly time frame.
There you go. There's the answer. So, okay, can I take it back, Aaron?
Sure, of course.
Thank you so much for that. Steve, folks, I proved it to you that Aaron's much smarter than me. And there's not, and if you didn't quite get all that, don't worry about it. That's in the trading room. We talk about that. A lot of teaching going on in the trading room. He gets in all that. I want to move along here with a 2-minute tutorial. I got this email here a while back from a gentleman who said that he was making some pretty good money on the stock market. In fact, he was up $800 or something in his portfolio. Started with a couple $1,000. Not a bad return in just under a month. Traded options many years ago, took a break, college, med school, now running a busy practice. He's actually a doctor. And so I got an email from him today. What is his name? Justin. I think his name is Justin. Justin, if you're on, I don't know if you're on, but anyway, so he's asking what to do. He's actually losing money now. So I said, so here's my response. Folks, if you are losing money, all right, when you experience a series of losses, you got to slip back into paper trading. All right, just slip back into paper trading. That's really what you should do, okay? Because you don't want to put real money. Obviously, there's something's not going right if you're losing real money, all right? Go back to paper trading. Log all your trades, right? Plan your trade your plan, all that stuff. Go back and review and again, we teach all this stuff. Learn from your losses. And again, in the trading room, we get into all of this in detail, how to do it. Once you get back in the groove, then trade only one real trade to every 5 or 6 paper trades, and then ramp it up nice and slowly. Recover very slowly, carefully. Always practice safe money management. Trade small, trade often. Again, all of this is covered in the trading room and our courses. And then join and, of course, stay with the trading room. If possible, ask questions, get your answers. Recognize that successful trading is actually a long process. The longer you stay with it, the better you'll commit to it. Those people that are trading that have been there for years, I'm telling you, they're knocking it out of the park. Like, I'm not kidding you. They're knocking it out of the park. A lot of them are much better traders than us. In part because, see, here's the problem with and Aaron, you can tell them this is the way it is, please. Folks, we're narrating and we're trading, we're showing you, and then we're trying to trade our real dollars. So our attention is spread out over about 4 or 5 different things here, not to mention the fact that we have to keep analyzing things and narrating it all throughout. So, like I told you before, Aaron's a smart one. He works a lot in the background, and I have to, like in my simple mind, I have to keep all these things one by one and hopefully, do well. But if you are focused on this stuff, believe me, and some of these guys, like who's that? Terry W. Aaron, he's been with us for years. A lot of these guys and gals, they're knocking it out of the park because of that reason. So anyway, that's my 2-minute tutorial. Let's get back to some real quick questions before we wrap it up. Okay. Same success with puts. Personally, I prefer calls. I prefer calls because the markets gravitate to the upside. I can make some money on puts, but I found that my struggles have been with puts. Aaron, you do very well with puts.
I do pretty well with puts. There is a couple times I get burned. But yeah, I try to trade in whatever direction the market is going. I try to stay unbiased. Sometimes that's difficult in a market that's choppy like this. You have to have a very sincere clarity of unbiasedness sometimes in choppy markets. So
Yeah. Uh, uh, okay. I'll just answer some of these questions privately. Team, how many people participate in the trading room? Would be a chance to have the questions answered. Your questions are pretty good. They're pretty good. Sometimes our questions are for, let's see here. They cover several questions. We answer several questions. Okay. All right. So we had, kind of, okay. So what I showed you there, that screenshot of the 2 to 5K channel, that's just the recent trades. And I show you the balances as to where we are with that. Do I need the pick of the day if I have the trading room? That's a good question. I had that asked to me before. Do I need the pick of the day if I have the trading room? Pick of the day is a separate service from the trading room. A lot of people have both. In the trading room, we teach you how to do it. And whereas the pick of the day, if you don't have the time to be in the trading room, let's say you're working or something like that, I know that job can sometimes gets in the way. But if you just want to get in the morning, put your trade in, put your sell order in, come back later, that's a great service to have. If you have that hour and a half in the morning, get in the trading room because we actually teach you how to fish rather than just kind of um, giving you a fish every day, right? And I see
yep,
this.
exactly.
All right, a lot of questions here. Let's see. Question here. If you suggest and trade often, trade small, trade often, but if you're trading, your standard trading strategies are one trade a day, is that sufficient? Okay, so if you have a cash account, you've got plenty of cash in your account, you can actually trade as many times as you want as long as you have the cash to cover it. All right. If you have a margin account, and I actually did a newsletter on this, you might want to go back about this. I think a week ago or something about um, good faith violations. You want to brush up on that. By the way, how many people here got hit with the good faith violation on Monday? Just curious because Monday was a banking holiday, so you didn't settle until Tuesday. You might have gotten a good faith violation, and I hope you didn't, but we're hoping to get to you before that. Let's see. Are you trading a place for the whole amount of your account balance? For example, if your current balance is around $1,000, you can place a trade for that whole amount. Probably. I'd probably take the risk on that. So the 2 to 5K challenge does have its challenges and risks, and it is aggressive. We're going to get aggressive to get that back on track. Um, so where do I look up the prices? How do I know if I've been filled? It'll show you your trading platform if you've been filled or not. So anyway, any other quick questions? I think Rod got a good faith violation. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you go now. And Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. We're gonna be in the trading room in the morning. We got a lot to do, a lot to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on here. So with that, we're going to call it a day, folks. Thank you for joining us. Aaron, thanks so much. It's been a real pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow morning
Yep,
here at 9 o'clock. And thank you, and have a good night, everybody.
yep, for sure. Take care, everybody.
This session is recorded, and you can have the recording on the website soon.
Give it all to you and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what